Liam Caldwell was a millionaire who loved to show off his luxury and status. He boasted about everything he had: sports cars, mansions, and a life full of parties. One day his friend Derek, fed up with Matt's arrogant attitudes, gave him an unexpected challenge. Derek suggested that Liam marry an obese woman for a whole day. In return, he promised to donate $1 million to a charity. Liam found the proposal absurd and even felt offended, but his need to show that he wasn't afraid of challenges made him accept. He wanted to prove that he was more than just a rich man and was willing to face this uncomfortable situation to achieve a good cause. Matthew was clearly uncomfortable with the idea of marrying an obese woman, but the challenge aroused his curiosity and his desire to prove that he could overcome any obstacle. He decided to accept the challenge, but on one condition: Derek would have to take care of all the details. Liam didn't want to get involved in anything that could tarnish his image as a millionaire. Derek, for his part, was happy to take on the responsibility and started looking for the perfect woman for the challenge. Liam, although reluctant, was determined to fulfill his part of the agreement and prepare for what was to come, thinking about how this experience could somehow change his life. On the appointed day, Liam finally met Ella, the woman Derek had chosen for the challenge. Ella was very different from what he had imagined. She was dressed in simple clothes and seemed a little shy as she entered Liam's luxurious apartment. He couldn't hide his discomfort at how her appearance contrasted with his extravagant lifestyle, but even with his initial discomfort, Liam noticed that Ella was excited and curious about the sophisticated world he lived in. She was enchanted by the apartment's decor and began to explore with a twinkle in her eye, asking questions and admiring every detail. This curiosity and enthusiasm was somewhat unexpected from Liam and began to plant the seed of a new perspective in his mind. When Ella entered Liam's luxurious apartment, the first thing she did was look around with curious eyes. She was a little embarrassed, but her enthusiasm was evident. Ella marveled at the elegant furniture and sophisticated objets that decorated the place. Despite her nervousness, she tried to ask questions and express her genuine interest in everything she saw. For Liam, the way Ella was enchanted by the little things made him feel a little embarrassed. He expected her to be critical or dismissive, but what he saw was a person who was genuinely fascinated and grateful for the experience. This began to make Liam think a little more about the simple and true life that Ella seemed to value. Mattis and Ella went to the Sao Museum of Art on a beautiful sunny day. At first Liam was anxious, imagining that Ella might not like the elegant surroundings and sophisticated works of art. However, as he walked around the museum, he was surprised. Ella was completely fascinated and began to explain enthusiastically about the paintings and sculptures that were there. She talked about the colors, styles, and history behind the works with a knowledge that Matthew had not expected. He listened attentively, impressed by how much Ella knew and by her passion for art. For Liam, this moment was a real learning experience. He realized that Ella not only appreciated simple things but also had a depth and intelligence that he had never noticed before. After their visit to the museum, Liam and Ella decided to have lunch in a simple, cozy restaurant in the city center. Unlike the luxurious restaurants Liam used to go to, this place was modest and had a very familiar atmosphere. Ella was excited for lunch and seemed completely at ease, as if this kind of place was her second home. She chatted to the waiter as if they were old friends and ordered dishes that for Liam were quite ordinary but which Ella seemed to love. While they waited for their food, Ella told funny stories about her favorite meals and how she loved trying new dishes. She talked about the simple joy of eating something tasty and how food was a way of connecting with people. Liam, who was used to exquisite and sophisticated dinners, began to realize how much he had missed out on by not valuing simple moments like this. He was struck by how much happiness Ella found in the little things. When the food arrived, Ella tasted it enthusiastically, praising each dish and sharing a little with Liam. He noticed that the way she enjoyed the meal was very different from his own approach. For him, food was just fuel, but for Ella it was an experience to be lived and enjoyed. This made Liam reflect on how he had distanced himself from these little joys in life. Lunch was a revealing moment for Liam, seeing Ella so happy and genuinely satisfied with something so simple. He began to rethink his own way of living. He realized that behind Lewis's simple appearance and choices there was a person with a wealth of values and a way of seeing the world that he hadn't yet explored. That day at the restaurant changed Mada's perspective on what really mattered in life. After lunch, Mattis and Ella decided to take a walk in a quiet green park. The park was a serene place full of trees and colorful flowers, with trails winding through the grass. As they walked side by side, Ella began to talk about the simple things that make life special. She talked about how little things like watching the sunrise or feeling the cool breeze could bring immense joy. Matthew was a little distracted, still thinking about his tasks and commitments, but he listened attentively as Ella described how each season had its own beauty. She mentioned that for her, summer was a time of renewal and growth, while winter represented a period of reflection and calm. Ella explained that by paying attention to these natural cycles, she found a way to connect more deeply with the world around her. As Ella spoke, Mata began to feel relaxed and less pressured. He realized that he was so caught up in his world of business and luxury that he had lost the ability to appreciate these little beauties in life. The way Ella described the world seemed to bring a new perspective on what really mattered. He began to reflect on how he had neglected these simple moments and the beauty that was all around him. The walk in the park was a moment of introspection for Liam. He realized that his life, full of things and commitments, was lacking a true connection with the natural world and the small daily joys. Ella, with her unique vision and appreciation for simplicity, made Liam rethink his priorities and the way he saw life. He began to understand that there was more to life than just success and wealth, and that simple moments could bring genuine happiness. One day Liam decided to take Ella to meet his parents. He was excited to show off his new friend and show her how much she meant to him. Mada's parents' house was large and elegant, with sophisticated furniture and impeccable decoration. Ella, dressed simply, felt a little nervous as she entered the house. She wasn't used to so much formality and glitter. Mada's parents greeted Ella with a mixture of surprise and curiosity, her mother with a critical eye and her father a little more reserved. Didn't know what to expect. Ella tried to be friendly and polite, but the difference between her simple manner and the luxurious lifestyle of Mada's parents was clearly visible. They chatted about trivial matters, but the atmosphere was tense. Matthew's mother made a few discreet comments, and although they weren't directly offensive, they showed a lack of understanding and acceptance. Matthew noticed the growing tension and became uncomfortable when his mother made a comment about Ella's lifestyle. Liam couldn't remain silent. He firmly defended Ella, explaining that she was an incredible person who deserved respect. This unexpected defense made the conversation heated, but also brought out feelings and opinions that had been hidden. Mata's parents ended up apologizing, admitting that they hadn't been fair to Ella. The visit to the family became a turning point from Liam. He saw how his worldview was different from his parents and how his love for Ella was challenging his family beliefs and traditions. The experience helped Matthew to reflect on what he really valued and to recognize the importance of supporting Ella regardless of society's expectations or his family's opinions. After dinner, Liam sensed that something was wrong. His mother, with a critical expression, made an awkward comment about Ella's simple way of dressing. She mentioned something about how Ella didn't quite fit in with their social circle. The atmosphere became charged and Liam realized that the atmosphere was tense. Ella looked down, clearly hurt, while Liam's parents maintained an air of indifference. Matthew couldn't bear the injustice and decided to speak up. He stood up and with firmness in his voice defended Ella. He explained to his parents that she was a special person, kind and much more important than any appearance or social status. His parents were surprised by Mata's reaction. His mother tried to defend herself, saying she didn't mean to offend, but tension was in the air. The confrontation wasn't easy and the conversation quickly turned into an emotional argument. Matthew expressed his frustrations and resentments while his parents tried to explain their reactions and prejudices. It was a moment of revelation and honesty. Mata's mother, with tears in her eyes, apologized to Ella and acknowledged that her behavior had been inappropriate. The father also showed regret and the conversation ended on a milder note. This confrontation with his parents was a milestone in Liam and Ella's relationship. He realized that in order to be true to himself and to those he loved, he would have to face not only external challenges but also family expectations and prejudices. The episode brought the couple even closer together and helped Liam understand the true value of accepting and respecting people regardless of their origins or appearance. While walking through an elegant garden, Liam and Ella found a quiet bench and sat down for an intimate chat. Ella, with a wistful smile, decided to share something very important with Matt. She looked at him seriously and began to tell him a story that he would never have expected to hear. Ella revealed that she actually came from one of the richest families in the country. Despite her simple appearance and humble lifestyle, she was heir to a large fortune. However, Ella explained that she had rejected this world of luxury and ostentation because she wanted to live a more authentic and meaningful life. For her, money and possessions were not what really mattered. Mattis was shocked by the revelation. He had seen Ella as an ordinary nice person, but now he understood that she was much more than that. Ella talked about her decision to give up all the advantages that money could offer and how this helped her to value the little things in life and find true happiness in simplicity. Ella's revelation not only surprised Liam but also made him reflect deeply on his own priorities and values. He began to understand that true wealth did not lie in possessions but in the ability to live with integrity and find joy in simple things. This moment of honesty and vulnerability further strengthened the bond between them and deepened Matthew's respect for Ella. As the days went by, Mattis began to notice a change within himself. What began as a challenge turned into a revelatory experience. He saw Ella in a completely new way and began to admire not only her courage but also her outlook on life. Little by little, Liam realized that the appearances and social status he had previously valued were not as important as he had imagined. He found himself increasingly drawn to Ella's simplicity and kindness, the way she found joy in the little things and the authenticity with which she lived her life. began to influence the way he saw the world. Liam began to get more involved in the simple activities that Ella loved, such as walks in the fresh air and visits to local markets. He noticed how these experiences brought him real satisfaction, different from the superficial satisfaction he used to seek at lavish parties and events. Liam's internal transformation was gradual but profound, and he came to value people more for who they are rather than for what they have. Mad love for Ella grew to the point where he wondered how he had ever lived without this genuine connection. He began to question himself about the kind of person he wanted to be and the legacy he wanted to leave. Lewis's influence made him reevaluate his own values and priorities, leading him to seek a more meaningful and true purpose in his life. After a few months together, Liam and Ella decided to take a big step. They got married. The ceremony was simple but full of meaning. They wanted their wedding to reflect what they had learned from each other. Instead of a lavish party, they opted for an intimate celebration with close friends and family, highlighting love and simplicity. Liam and Ella's wedding drew attention not only for their change of lifestyle but also for the positive impact they were creating. They decided to use part of their wealth to help others. They began supporting various social and environmental causes, from animal shelters to education programs for underprivileged children. Their commitment to philanthropy was genuine and visible in every action they took together. They founded a charitable organization that focused on improving living conditions for people in vulnerable situations. Their foundation became a symbol of hope and change, showing the world that true wealth lies in helping others and making a difference. Liam and Ella became examples of how love and kindness can transform lives. While continuing to work on their initiatives, the couple used their visibility to challenge stereotypes and prejudices about wealth and status. They proved that it is possible to be successful and at the same time committed to social justice and equality. Their journey has inspired many to rethink what really matters in life and to seek a greater purpose. During their honeymoon, a moment that should have been one of pure joy, Ella began to feel ill. What seemed like simple tiredness turned into something much more serious. After a series of tests, the diagnosis was devastating. Ella had a rare and aggressive disease. Liam's world was turned upside down. Liam, who had fallen deeply in love with Ella, was devastated by the news. He decided that he would do anything to find a cure. The next few weeks were filled with medical appointments, research and trips to search for innovative treatments around the world. Liam was determined to do the impossible to save Lewis's life, showing the strength of his love and dedication. Despite all his efforts, the disease was progressing rapidly. The treatment was not giving the expected results, and Lewis's health continued to deteriorate. Liam was exhausted, but he never gave up hope. He spent as much time as he could with Ella, trying to provide her with happy and memorable moments. As time went by, Liam accepted the harsh reality of the situation. He focused on making Lewis's last days full of love and joy. Despite the pain of seeing the woman he loved suffer, he dedicated himself to creating precious memories and giving Ella all the emotional support she needed, showing that even in adversity, true love can light up the darkest moments. As Ella's illness progressed, Liam began to accept the sad reality that she wouldn't have long to live. Although it was a constant struggle, he strove to maintain a semblance of courage and hope every day. Liam did his best to give Ella happy moments, even if they were small moments of joy in the midst of pain. Mattis and Ella spent time together, revisiting the places and memories that had been special to them. They remembered their first adventures, the simple moments and the laughter they shared. Ella, even in her weakened condition, continued to show admirable strength and a cheerful spirit that charmed everyone around her. Liam made a point of being present at every important moment, celebrating each day as a gift. He prepared loving surprises such as love letters and small parties to show Ella how much she meant to him. He wanted to ensure that even in her last days Ella knew how much she was loved and valued. In the end, Liam found solace in knowing that he had done his best to make Ella's life as happy as possible despite the circumstances. He treasured every memory, every smile and every gesture of love they had shared. This acceptance and the creation of happy memories were a way of paying tribute to Lewis's life and legacy, showing that even in the midst of pain, true love continues to shine through. When Ella reached the end of her journey, she had a very special conversation with Liam. She shared with him an important secret she had kept over the years, something that would change the way Liam would see the world. Ella talked about a part of her life that she had never told, full of adventures and challenges that had shaped her into who she was. Liam listened attentively, absorbing every word and understanding the depth of what Lisa was sharing. This moment was very important to him as it revealed more about Ella's courage and strength than he had ever imagined. He felt a mixture of sadness at the impending loss and gratitude for having had the chance to meet such an extraordinary person. After saying goodbye, Liam dedicated himself to living according to the values and lessons that Ella had taught him. He continued with the philanthropic actions that had become an important part of their lives together and committed himself to helping others in the way that Ella would have loved. Every act of kindness and every effort to make the world a better place was a way of honoring her memory. Even after Lou's departure, Liam carried with him the light she brought into his life. He kept alive the passion and values she had shared, always remembering the lessons learned and the fond memories Ella had left, a legacy of love and hope, and Liam made sure that this legacy continued to shine through his actions and his heart.